everybody, it's Christine. It's day 10 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. I'll show you the sketch first. So it's by Mel, my friend. She's from Down Under, I believe. And she has got us with 4x6 photo, a couple of 3x4s. She's actually been pretty detailed with this sketch because she's giving you all the information, right? There's actually like a stencil thing going on here. She's like torn paper down here, some journaling over here, cluster here, 2x2 photos up here. Again, she's kind of showing more torn photo up here. Yeah, it says stencils or mixed media. And then cluster over here. Now, here's my deal, y'all. I have a piece of paper, one piece of paper left from my August 2022 Flavors of the Month. And I want to use this thing. And when I saw these right here, I know we've got 2x2. I could have got photos or even little cut aparts or something. But I was like, oh my gosh, I could use it for my hearts. So I'm going to rotate my sketch. Now, that being said, I'm ending up with less real estate some kind of way, at least according to my mind. So we're going to end up with I'm going to be going a little off the design a bit in the sense of, like, it's not going to be exact, but because I'm going to do my hearts here, I did pull out a stencil. So I've got me a shaded lilac ink here. I think it's going to be pretty because I've got this purple cardstock that came with the kit. It's going to be, I'm going to mat it and then mat my photo, which is my mama. I'll talk about that. And then I got into all my like stash scraps here. Y'all, y'all see they're kind of scribbled. I'm not storing them very well, I guess, because they're definitely crumpled, but I'm thinking, I do like that torn paper look. So I had to find some stuff that kind of went with the collection over there. So I'm kind of thinking this, and then I have this that kind of goes with the pink. And then there's this yellow here that kind of goes with the yellow. So I'm thinking that, and then I'm thinking I can map my photo with this and then the gutting of the purple cardstock. So that's kind of my plan. And then my title, I've picked out Vacay Laugh because she's so cute. I'm going to talk about that. The thing I'm not sure about are these things. I thought about maybe using little cut aparts or something, but I don't know because I'm running out of real estate when I do this stuff. So I may end up with just clusters on that side. But let me see what I end up with because I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to trim some of my steps here. I need to trim this down just a hair and get my purple cardstock so I can get that on there. And then I'm going to do my stenciling. And then and also make my photos. And then we'll start going. Y'all. All right. Give me a second.
Well, y'all, I am actually really pleased how this turned out. I can't swear. I think you can see it was inspired by the sketch. You'll see at the end. So I have trimmed down my little paper with the hearts on it, and I have gutted my purple cardstock. So now I'm just going to map my photo, and I just left this part in here so you guys could kind of see. I just took the yellow with the little floral on it and matted the photo, and then I've done put that on top of the purple cardstock, and I'm just going to mat it on purple cardstock. Then I'm going to end up taking my, I have not put the heart paper on the purple cardstock yet because I knew I wanted to do the stenciling on it, and I was a little worried I might go off or whatever, so I haven't attached them just quite yet. So here's where I'm looking at the stencil, and I'm going, okay, how do I need this to work? Because I know, looking at the sketch, it kind of took over the whole page, but in this case, since I've got kind of a little different situation happening, I'm trying to figure out exactly where it's going to go. So I looked at it horizontally and vertically and decided, no, it's going to go vertically. I got little hairs on those things. Okay, so I'm going to take my stencil and I'm going to kind of come up here, and I'm trying to make it fade out because I don't really want the real harsh ending lines. So I'm kind of making it fade outward. And I always start kind of where I know it's going to be under the photo so that if there's a little heavy inky going on there, it's kind of hidden. So I've kind of flowed out. Now, the tricky part here is my stencil is not as big as the paper. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I lay this on here and it not look like I've boogered it up boogered it up. And so I kind of figure out where it's going to go, and I end up just kind of rotating it, and I do overlap a little bit on purpose. So, but I think it looks good. I don't think you can, when you look at it later on the layout, it doesn't look weird. It looks pretty good, I think. So I'm just taking my other little bit of purple here, and I think this purple turned out real good too. If I'm honest, it's the only purple I have, so it kind of had to work. I just got it pretty recently too, so I need to go through all my inks. I think there's some that are like not quite as juicy as they used to be, and I need to repurchase. Like my Tattered Rose, I was trying to use it in a layout the other day, and it was just not real juicy, so I may need to update those. Okay, so now here's where I'm looking at it and going, okay, I need to tear these papers here, and I need to trim this yellow here, but I'm going to realize I trimmed this pink, and I don't know what I did wrong. I somehow actually cut it, and it's not quite as long as the white paper there, but it's not a big deal because guess what? Half of it's up underneath the picture. So no worries. I'm going to go ahead and tear the edges of this. And then I'm going to do the pink, and then it's going to be yellow, and then the turquoisey stuff on top. So, or whatever that color is. Is that turquoise? I guess it's kind of a turquoise. So I'm just kind of figuring, this is where I kind of realized that's a little too short, but it's all right. No big deal. No problem. And here's where I get the yellow, and I started to use the one side, but that's the wrinkled side. So I go, no, I need to go ahead and do this other side over here. So I'm just going to tear it. Pro tip, if you're trying to keep your tears very controlled, make sure you tear close to your fingers as you're going down, right? So don't give yourself too much, how do I explain it? Like, don't get your hands too far apart. And I know I have this really weird, look at my pinky, y'all. It's kind of, I've got this weird angle on my hand, but that's how I control my paper tears. It's just, I have this really odd claw looking hand. I don't even know how I did that. Okay, so I'm just trimming these up here. Now, if I'm honest, the sketch actually called for torn paper on the right side as well. I didn't do that though, because I do have this kind of neat stitched outline, you know, that looks kind of stitched, and I kind of liked it, so I didn't really want to cover it up on the other side. So I don't do the other side. I just do one side. So there's where another deviation I've got for the sketch. I'm going to use double-sided tape on these pieces here. Normally I would use my ATG, but I was trying to be a little bit more precise because I needed these to line up just right. And so I'm going to use a little double-sided tape to make these match where I kind of want them. And you can kind of see I'm just matching this up. I wanted them to be, I didn't want real deep sets of papers, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make them a little bit narrow. I did go ahead and cut the pink little diagonal stripe there. I cut it in half because I knew I wanted the top and then the bottom, and I'm going to have a little gap in the middle. But like I said, that's not going to matter because the photo is going to cover it up, and I already knew that. So I'm going to put this on, and then my sticky didn't stick, y'all. I didn't press it hard enough. So this is where I realized I kind of need to use some more double-sided tape. So I pull out the big gun double-sided tape here, and I'm going to attach these things. Now that pink paper, I realized it came from a Teresa Collins, I believe. I'm not even sure she has papers anymore. I'd have to go back looking, but it used to be real popular. I remember looking at that letter paper there. So they'll have no idea what the other two papers are from, but that one for some reason I remember. So I'm just putting my double-sided tape here, and this is what I'm going to use to attach. It will be just a tad longer than the white grid paper here, so I will trim that in just a moment. But I am using this double-sided tape here. For whatever reason, I never even pulled the ATG gun out on this side over here. I mean, I know why when I was assembling the paper set, but why when I was laying it down, I don't know. Let's see. So I'm halfway through my design here, the base page here, I guess. Let's see. I'm going to pull these little pieces off here. So let me tell you about this picture of my mama. So we were in Branson. So this is a picture from our, up there, Saturn. Y'all say hello. We were in Branson, and we didn't have really just, if I'm honest, we didn't have real firm plans. She had a couple little ticket or like coupon things. One was getting our pictures made at that little historical picture looking thing. And I don't remember what the other, I think we talked about going to the Titanic Museum or something, but we decided while we were there to go to the Wax Museum because there was actually 3 little things in one. There was this Wax Museum, and then there was like a little game or something, and I feel like there was like a maze or something. Yeah, it was like a mirror maze or something. But this is the Wax Museum portion, and part of it you could put on little props. And honestly, I can't swear to y'all that's the most sanitary thing to do, but you know, we're kind of from the country, and basically we used to play and eat dirt. So, you know, it's fine. So she put on these little props. We all did technically, but she just looks so cute. This was the Charlie Chaplin wax figure, and they had a little hat and cane, and she put that on, and she just looks so cute. I just thought this was a great little old picture of my mama. So I thought this was something worth scrapping, you know. I actually have a ton of pictures from that museum. I got to figure out, I think I did something not too long ago with a handful of them, but I might need to go back through and figure out which ones I may not have scrapped or something and do another little layout. But this one was real cute. I liked it a lot. And so I put foam behind the picture. You saw me do that. Sorry, my messaging's going off over here. I'm going to ignore it for a moment. And then here's where I'm pulling out these little, the title, Vacay Laugh. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I don't really use black anywhere else on this layout, and I wondered if that wasn't a mistake. But then I go, no, the little stitching, the little faux stitching printed on the paper's in black, and the picture has, you know, kind of darker colors. So I think it looks fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I ended up introducing a few of these because I did have to get in my stash, y'all. Like I said, the paper I had, the cardstock I had, but everything else I had to pull from my stash, including all the decor or the embellishments or whatever. So I'm kind of setting that aside now, and I'm going to get into, what do I get into next, y'all? I'm trying to remember. I look at the sketch because I got to remind myself, okay, what have I got to do here? And it keeps rotating. Look at that, y'all. Okay, so I'm thinking, all right, I need to do some kind of little things on the side here. And I find these two little fishtail banners in some stash I've got. Really old stuff, too. I think this stuff's... It was in my scrap rack, and my scrap rack is really, really old. I've got all kinds of stuff in there. But I do like these little two fishtail banners. It takes the place of those two little small photos, at least in my mind and for the design. And I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to start looking into all kinds of little ephemeras and things I pulled out of my stash from. I have a little box over here that's a lot of Hip Kit stuff. That is not from Hip Kit, by the way. That's just something else. I thought the yellow kind of looked good, but then I go, no, that's not going to work. So I set it aside. And I end up pulling out actually some light wood grain, that thing right there. That's actually from a Hip Kit from January, I think it was, 2022. And I thought, I can use this 2022 on here and put that down there. I don't know if I've got the clusters now that I think about it in the exact same spot. But I did think that looked real cute down there. I think she had something down there. And then I've got this little square. I thought this was a good little grounding element for now she did have a cluster where I'm putting this. So I'm happy with myself on this one. And I kind of used that little square there to ground it. And then I'm going to end up pulling out a little circle frame here. There's no real good reason other than I like it. And it kind of does a little diagonal from my 2022. And then I have a tiny little circle that says U. Have I got that yet? There it is. I'm going to put that on that little set. So there's a little cluster on her sketch there kind of, but I'm just going to do that. Not much else because I just couldn't figure out really what else would go there that looked right. And that looks kind of pretty just the way it is. And now I have my little wood grains kind of in a diagonal. And then what am I going to pull? Oh, I had this little piece of chipboard stuff that said Stay Sweet. And it's kind of got that light turquoise to it. So I like that a lot too. And my mama's sweet. So I'm going to put Stay Sweet on there. And it has a little silver foiling. So I thought originally I was going to pull out some of those gold arrows and things from the title sheet that I used. But that little thing had some silver foiling on it. And the little U circle had some silver foiling on it. And I go, well, then I can't really put gold on there. The other thing I pulled out was that little word wonderful. And I put that right on the top of the picture. And I think that looked cute too. So, yeah, this is where I'm kind of looking at going, no, I really can't use anything on there. I mean, I probably could have pulled one of the colored dots or whatever, but I thought, no, there's no real reason for that. So I go into here and I find this little rainbow that's a puffy sticker and it says Think Positive. And, again, I just kind of thought that was cute because, well, she's just a real positive person. So I put that on there. And I think the next thing I do is decide to go get some little jewels. I pull out these little jewels. And, y'all, they're kind of old. And they were kind of popping up all over the place when I was opening the package. And then I struggle for just a second. I use these little needle nose tweezer deal here to put them down. But I just put 3 in each of my little cluster areas. And again, I don't know how close at this point I am to the sketch. I stopped looking at it because I was like, okay, I'm trying to stick to it. And I think I'm kind of close. I think if you looked at it, you could tell it was inspired because of the, if you rotate my layout, obviously, to kind of match up with the layout of the sketch. But I think this turned out real cute. And I do enjoy the hearts and everything. I was real happy with that because that's from early, what was that? Oh, did I tell y'all, August? And I really wanted to get that used up. It was just holding up a space over here in my little rack of papers. So I'm glad to have used that up. But again, I'm just going to finish putting these little old jewels down here. Oh, and then I do refer back to the sketch in just a moment. And I realize, okay, she did have some journaling on here. So I'm going to find my pen in just a second when I see where that's at. Look at me trying to fix that. I go, oh, there's journaling down there. So I took my pen. And under the picture, kind of lined where she had journaling, I just said, Mama was so cute playing dress up at the Wax Museum in Branson. And again, I've already got 2022 on there, so I kind of know when that is. And I think this turned out real cute, y'all. And I think it looks like the sketch. You can kind of see the sketch laying there. What do y'all think? Y'all comment below. Don't forget to check out the playlist. I'm going to slow this down so you can see the close-up. My cat, of course, is all up in the business. But don't forget to check out the playlist. We're on day 10, so there should be probably 30, 40 videos for you to watch by now. Anyways, we will, or maybe more, day 10 times, let's say there's 15 people playing. I don't know, y'all. There's a lot of videos for y'all to watch. Better keep up. All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow and talk soon. Bye.